Welcome to the Starting Over Podcast. I'm your host, Edward Shelton, aka Dark Logos, and this is a show where we talk about the strategies, tactics, and mechanics behind the game of heroclix. Man, I had it's been sort of a whirlwind sort of week and a half, and I've gotten a little time today to do some stuff. Won't front in justice to. It has grabbed my soul and grabbed my time, so I won't front. I am the guy with the punk move with Supergirl that spams the teleport and will beat you that way. And for people who don't know what that is, good for you, because you don't have to deal with it. Today's episode is going to just sort of be a little hodgepodge of things. I'm primarily going to focus on some changes and some things that you probably need to get ready for Origins with, and some, I wouldn't say little memes, because I don't think they're at that level, but I think the conversations of, you know, what is WizKid smoking is going on, just mainly how some things are just being handled by the company rather poorly. So we're going to talk. I'm going to try to make everything coherent and tie some life stuff in. But before we get started, real talk. If you have not watched the end of Samurai Jack, watch that. That is heart-moving art right there. The conclusion of an epic of a grand warrior. You know, your choices and actions have brought you to this day. Oh man, it's the last season of Samurai Jack. Man, you get the man tears. You get the man tears. And I remember when Samurai Jack came out. It was like a year before my grandmother passed. And we were watching it because, we were sitting there sort of watching it. I forgot what was going on. And she was like, what is this? And I was like, it's going to be the best cartoon ever. And I'm in college. So, anyway. All right, so let's get down and dirty. Whiz kids, are you high in preparing for your grand party, not understanding that you're like the Romans? You have a Dionysus party to the side with the booze and the women and the food and the gorgatorium. I don't know if that's no, it's a vomitarium. Something like that, yeah. For those who don't know, the Romans would be so gluttonous that they would fill themselves with food, throw up in this container, and then eat more food. So yeah. So on one part you have, the Dionysus party, and then on the other end you have the freaking Roman Colosseum death battles, and you need to have. You made the mistake of making Aquatic Day the first day, and then made it so that you're going to have the freaking lions come in on the second day and then go back to Aquatic Day on the third day. The aqueducts don't run that pimp, homie. The aqueducts are not that pimp. All right, so you might be saying, what the hell does this mean, Dark Logos? What it means is WizKids is a company. Is probably ran by the evil dictator Iran, who does not know what the hell his customer base, when it comes to Origins, wants. I'm just being honest. The people that go to Origins, you have two parties. You have the casuals who are playing battle royales, who are doing the scenario events, who are sort of just coming by the booth and picking up stuff and being like, yeah, dog, it's all good. That's your Dionysus party. Then you have the Colosseum, those like myself that come in to do death battles with other people from around the world. And we expect freaking death battles. We want our death battles on time. We want our death battles in order. We want to prepare for our death battles. We took freaking time off work and have dedicated probably the last 2 to 3 months of our lives to this death battle. You can't tell me that all of a sudden you can't get your stuff together to make elements that are really common in the game consistent, and not only that, make it so that we're clear in what weapons that we're fighting with. You can't say, hey, you get your sword, you get your spear and net, you get your shield, you can get some daggers. You know, if you want a double shield, fine. I don't think that's a good idea, but you can double shield. But you can't all of a sudden introduce a 22 into that situation. That's not fair. You can't all of a sudden introduce lightsabers into that situation. That's not fair. You know, you can't all of a sudden be like, you get a freaking, summon, and it has god powers. That's not fair. Alright, so let's summarize all this. The two things I'm talking about is the What If set and the changes to Henry and the tank. Or, Betty and the Jets. However you want to talk, you want to put it like that. So, let's start with Henry and the tank and then go into What If and the implications of both. If you haven't heard by now, which you most likely have, and I probably don't need to explain it, but for those in the YouTube time travel land that will listen to the show, will say, I remember those days in the bringing of the darkness of the Henrys. Pretty much Henry and the tank are bystander tokens in spite of the fact of them having cards, in spite of the fact that they have keywords. Now here's the key part that's really hilarious. Bystanders do not count towards your force in terms of theme team, but do not break theme team. Let me make that clear. They don't break theme team and they don't count towards your force. There's nothing less to say like, yeah, you get a bystander token, this can count towards your force. Now, again, there could be some weird rule that appears on a Sunday on a third moon that says if your bystander token has a keyword, that it could count towards your force for force construction. If so, there you go. I was wrong. I freely admit it now. But to my knowledge, there isn't such a rule. Okay? Now, the importance of this was what made Henry balanced. What made Henry balanced was the fact that Henry didn't have any freaking keywords. So if you were going to play Henry without Fitz, you weren't going to play a theme team. Because 15 points for Empower and Enhancement is broken. Now we might say, well, Dark Logos, I pay 15 points for Betty Brant, and she gives me Perplex, and then she could possibly be a medic. And I'm like, no, not as broken. Because first off, Enhancement and Power are passive powers. They just go off. You don't have to activate them, you just have to be adjacent to the character. I can empower 3 characters and increase my damage output overall by 3 for my total damage dealt. I can only perplex up the damage on 1 character and increase my total damage dealt from 3 characters only by 1. Empower and Enhancement are way more stronger. They are way stronger than Perplex when it comes to being a power multiplier, of our force multiplier in military terms. Okay, so they're non-actions. They're just flat out non-actions. When you look at the cost that you pay for Henry, the fact that he phases, the fact that the little monkey is tiny, I think also he has super senses. Let me grab my little Henry from here. Yeah, this little sucker has super senses. It's really, really good. It's really good. Okay? It literally is worth the cost of the fast forces. That's how good he is. You don't really need the rest of that. And Fitz isn't bad as a TK. Alright, so for those of you who don't have a wonderful magical PIM tank, that seems to slaughter all your enemies and will be the focus of Origin and on everyone's team. The tank, the pin pocket tank in and of itself, as a character, let me say, as a bystander, doesn't do much on its dial. But when you're able to chuck it through whatever means necessary, and then be like, meh, I chucked it, and I get to summon in a 50-point tank, that's not cost appropriate at all. That's more than triple the cost of what you're paying for with that pocket tank. That's literally more than triple the cost, because triple of 8 is 24. Okay, so that's you're still like 6 times. You're 6 times. You're still not hitting 50. So you're able to get something that you really shouldn't have for a low point investment. So when you start breaking it down, not just the fact that when you bring in the magical tank, it busts walls, it deals damage, it also allows you to reposition for a low point investment of 8 points. You're like, oh yeah, but if you kill the tank, you get the 50 points. You also add in the fact that you've eaten the action, your opponent has eaten the action to kill the tank, and pretty much with, if you think about it, that's one attack that's not directed toward your opponent's main force, main attacker, secondary attacker, support, or whatever else. And that's a huge deal. Now, I know some people would say, like, well, Dark Logos, I killed that 50-point tank and then stall for the rest of the game. Okay, Muhammad Ali rope-a-doping in the middle of the ring. All right. So, changing how those two elements work is game-changing. Now, you will say, like, hey, man, how is this game-changing? Why is this a big deal? Well, let's sort of look at the static reigning champion of the meta right now, with over 100 technical knockouts, 2 to 3 losses, and about 200 ties. Jakeem, the Fist of Lightning Thunder, and his magical genie. I don't even know who the hell his genie's name is. We'll just call him Genie for right now. R.I.P. Robin Williams. All right, so we'll just say Genie. And so Jakeem Thunder comes in. He's looking at Muhammad Ali. He's his trainer. He say he floats like a butterfly, stings like a freaking lightning. And he comes in. He's like, whoop, whoop, yeah, I'm the reigning champion. I'm so pretty. And he's with his magical buddies. Sometimes it's, Green Lantern, Alan Scott. The lantern light is in the corner, ready to go. Sometimes it's Clarion the Witch Boy, and sometimes that familiar little Tico likes to get into, things that it shouldn't. But, that's what spirits do. And then, of course, his brand manager, Hat, is always getting him where he needs to be for them photo shoots. That's the big thing about Hat. He keeps pulling things out of it. All right, so you have all of these little, these main contenders circling around Jakeem. They're his entourage. And then you could just be like, yo, homie, we're a theme team. Yeah, +8. I got witches for days. I got witches in different zip codes. It's so bad. It's so bad. But what have you done? What have you done, rap culture? Anyway, so I literally got witches for days. I got bags of witches. I've got binders full of witches. I've got books full of witches. I got so many witches, I don't know what to do. Okay? If I wanted to be a complete, just utter silly guy, I could probably field 4 witches and build a solid team around that and just be like, hey, there is never a chance for you to ever get map. I'm just saying. So, with all that, now I'm able to add this stupid level offensive capability called the tank. You know, before I would have to make a choice. Am I going to go with the tank or am I not going to go with the tank? If I go with the tank, I get map. I guarantee a setup, you know, that is more likely to favor me. If I go with, you know, with the tank and forfeit the theme team, then I'm able to come back and be like, well, do I really need the rest of this stuff? Let me go min-max this. And, yeah, let's go to battle. You know, I actually can get, you know, a reasonably costed TK. You know, I just automate all that stuff with Mercury. You know, get rid of the human element. And for those who are under the age of 18 or really haven't been employed for a long period of time, you won't get that last joke. But anyone that's probably 28 or older gets it. But anyway, so when you look at that situation, that now you can bring Jakeen back, you know, into the limelight like hardcore. You're able to, you know, have him say, you know, say the champ is here, and drop a tank on you like it's Nam. Yeah, there's going to be problems. There's going to be major problems, and I don't think that WizKids thought about that as a ruling. And to me, even more so, how do you not have that clearly defined internally that these little pop-off characters, if they're independent of their creator or their master or, you know, co-creator, founder, whatever the PC correct term you want to use today, that these, you know, they don't have a classification for them, I find that really strange. And I find that really frustrating because this is an integral part of the business. And it's nothing new. This has been going on for years. You should know what the hell these things are. And you should have let the rest of us know, like, yo, what is this thing? Instead of waiting for someone to ask the question, what is this thing? All right. Now, I give, you know, mad shouts out to Tiago because he did something that a lot of us Americans, you know, didn't do. He did this wonderful thing called reading. And I love him for it because no one really looked at it and we just assumed. But then all of a sudden, you know, he came back and said, it's like, how can a Wednesday also be a Tuesday if they're on different days of the week? And then it's like, oh, that is correct. A Wednesday can't be a Tuesday because they're on a different day of the week. So anyway, now some people will say, well, hey, Dark Logos, you know, Mystical and Jakeem, and, you know, that's going to be frustrating for Origins. I get that. But, you know, it can't be all that bad. And I'm like, yeah, because there could be some other dark horses that were just sort of like sleeping, and then this chaos magic like awoken them and gave them, you know, a power crystal. We don't know. I mean, like, literally, we don't know. And there's not enough time to find out. Okay? So there is that. Then we sort of, like, you know, get on down the road. And we deal with the silliness of brand management. Because, hey, if you're going to have a world championship, and you have rules that includes all products up to a week out from your event, and then you're going to release a major full standard set before such event, wouldn't it behoove you to say, hey guys, we know that it would be completely unreasonable for you to enter into these Coliseum games and, you know, just put a mortgage out on your house to go buy little plastic crack figures at quadruple the price that it's actually worth. And so, we're just going to make it that this set isn't legal for the World Championships this year. It'll see its first World Championships next year, and we'll end and start the block on this set. Because that would be responsible. That would be reasonable. What would be even more reasonable would be saying, hey guys, we understand that you all take these gladiatorial games real seriously. You bet your lives on them. Your stable masters have bet your lives on them, and they are preparing you to go to battle to the death for our amusement. So what we're going to do is make it so that any set released a month, literally exactly a month away from Origins, within a month of Origins, is not allowed. Like a responsible brand manager. You could easily do that. You could say, hey guys, stuff that's released 3 weeks away from Origin is not allowed in Origins. That would have been even fair. That would have been fair. Okay, you could have snuck the Wonder Woman stuff in, maybe. You could have stuck Guardians of the Galaxy. But hell, I can't even see one at my Target, so who knows? Okay, so you could get that in. All right, but to have a major launch of figures be released a week out, and then everyone's supposed to be like, man, I would donate more plasma, but gosh, I think I can barely see straight. Did I get enough money to buy the new Thor? Yeah. So, even if you look at, let's take the new Thor, for example. And I've heard people say, oh, it's okay, it sucks, it's not that great. That new Thor is broken. And let me explain to you a couple of reasons in the short term, when it comes to Origins, in the long term, why that new Thor is broken. In the short term, the new Thor is broken is because I can go and get somebody that means absolutely nothing to me, that has a mystical keyword, that will just sit there, or 50 points or more, i.e. Clarion, because Tico acts by his darn self, do a double power action, and allow pretty much Thor to attack again. Now, Thor stats are way better than Clarion stats. Now, you would say, but Dark Logos, Clarion has Psychic Blast. In crap damage. I'm just being honest. I can put Tickle out there. I can perplex up Thor's damage to be boss damage. Straight boss, always winning Charlie Sheen level, old meme level, okay? Now, I can also take it an additional, step further, and I can have a witch next to this Thor. And I can give Clarion a double power action, and that Thor can attack again. Again, you might be saying, Dark Logos, that's not that strong, whatever, I don't get it, what are you saying? Alright, let's just say, hypothetically, and I'm not saying this character exists, but let's just say, hypothetically, I have found a 50-point character that has a lot of utility, okay, with the mystical keyword, and it's exactly 50 points. More importantly, I've found 3 of them. I found 3 characters that are exactly 50 points. All right, now, I am able to passively use these characters. Okay? I'm just making it clear. I'm able to passively use these characters. So they have Perplex, they have Prob, they have Outwit, they have, whatever else, Hydra, okay? And they're mystical, okay? I take a double power action, and I can still have Thor attack and buff Thor. not only that, I can have another one take another double power action and have Thor attack, and then Thor can attack himself. Now, some of you would say, but Dark Logos, you can't do that. You can't do multiple free actions in a turn. And what I would say is, hey, buddy, you would be correct, but nothing in that power says it's a free action. It just happens. That's the immediate. What I would like to emphasize just for a brief moment is that there's a 50-point Doctor Strange, because, you know, I do live research. 50-point number 35 Doctor Strange. He gets some power and enhancement. And a unique modifier when he uses either also modify the attacker's attack value by +1. So I can get +1 attack and +1 damage on with you know, this Doctor Strange? I wonder if I, you know, play a two shifting focused Doctor Strange and the Wizard, that would be exactly 3 characters at 50 points exactly with the mystical keyword that could passively buff freaking Thor. And again, you have to look at it like this. Thor himself could attack 3 times in a turn, or you can have him attack 2 times every turn. 2 times every turn. Now, some of you are like, okay, how is that? Thor normal attacks, another one double power actions, he attacks again. The next turn, Thor, you have the 2 other characters, double power action, Thor clears, the other character clears. Pretty simple. Okay? And you can be in this like nice situation. Now, again, I haven't looked at Thor's card recently, so I don't know if he has willpower. If he has willpower, the times that he can attack 3 times in a row is pretty ridiculous. It's pretty ridiculous. Just saying. So, as we sort of continue, why is this a problem? Okay, I think that Thor's range is around 7. What do we have really popular in the meta right now? We have Barrier. We have the WizKids Office map. We have a lot of blocking terrain problems. What's the main problem with most major attackers? They're not able to get through all of that blocking terrain. What can I do to fix that? Oh, well, you know, if I attack 3 times, if you only have 1 layer of barrier in between you and me, then yeah, I ate the first attack and, you know, got rid of your blocking terrain. But after that, I'm just going to light you up twice for 4 or 5 damage. Your barrier piece is most likely dead. Or if not, your main attacker has taken a good chunk of damage. Now, some folks might also say, but Dark Logos, this doesn't make sense because, you know, Reasons Jakeem. And I can say, yes, Reasons Jakeem, that's pretty good. That makes sense. Reasons Jakeem. At the other end, I could also say, I can carry this Thor up using, let's just say Overdrive for right now. Have my Doctor Strange double power action using, you know, that mystical Wanda Watum, and then I can just light you up that way. Or I can have Pixie phase Thor around and put Thor right where he needs to. And then, you know, hey, you know, find ways of double power act. Oh, no, hold on, wait, take that back. I need to be adjacent. I think I apologize on that. Just remember in the back of my mind, I'm like, I think you need to be adjacent. So it's not that crazy. But it is pretty stupid. It is pretty stupid. I know somebody's probably going to be like, hey, God, they have to be adjacent. And if they don't have to be adjacent, because I actually now have to look, there's definitely a problem. So overall, when we start asking ourselves, hey guys, this Thor exists, he's pretty stupid. What else is in this set? And I could come back and be like, hold up, crap. I just looked at this power. Give me a second. Under Seth Thrall, give an adjacent friendly character with the mystical keyword. So he has to be adjacent. So thank God you have to be adjacent, because otherwise this is stupid. Anyway. We don't know what else is there. There could be another character like Henry. There can be another character like Brother Voodoo. There can be a character that has an aura that says everybody within 5 squares doesn't have a defensive value. There can be a character that has hypersonic speed, flurry, exploit, weakness, and can use all of them. There could be a character that has, Blaze, Claws, Fangs, Flurry, but can do it 4 times for all I know. We don't know. It's not fair for us to have to risk our chances at a championship and risk our chances at getting a significant amount of prizing and completely flushing months and months and months of prep down the drain for the fact that WizKids just wants to make a quick buck. Because it just says to your player base, you don't matter. Insert swear words here, blankety blank blank. So that's how I look at it. Could things be worse? Yes, things could be worse. This Thor, we don't know. This Thor might be the best figure of the set. I don't think so. I really don't think so. But he could. He could be the best thing, and then we don't have anything to worry about. But more than likely, he's not. And there's bound to be other things on par or in scale with this Thor. And if there's a counter to this Thor, let's just say there's a scientist keyword character that says if you've attacked once this turn, you can't attack again. Boom. Yes, it causes problems for Flurry, but man, that would make me feel a little bit better. That would make me, immediately want to play him. That magical Iron Man who's also Sorcerer Supreme, who's also a mystical character. Oh gosh, I don't think they thought any of this set through. Now, I don't know if there's a Iron Man Sorcerer Supreme, but go look through some of the what ifs, and there's a lot of what ifs people were Sorcerer Supreme, and the Iron Man suit is just a suit. So I wonder how many are Iron Man suits of that. My favorite what ifs, because I came in to comic books later down that series. There was one that they did after Age of Apocalypse of what if the Age of Apocalypse didn't end and pretty much all the humans got freaking cosmic level powers, but also Galactus attacked. So yeah, that's my sort of viewpoint. But anyway, when we come back and we start looking at what type of event Origin should be, I'm not against the Dionysus party, going back to my metaphor. I'm not against the casual people going out there, having the fun, playing the scenarios, playing battle royales, joking around. And I think battle royales is a place where the casual and the competitive get together, have fun together, don't, speak curse words at each other in majority of the time. And we all enjoy a singular game of heroclix, and it's great. But the casuals had their sort of day being pissed off with WizKids when, you couldn't have 4 of your buddies at a table. Okay? You couldn't come in as a pod. now this is sort of the competitive players coming back, and it's like, yeah, this is sort of our day. But our day is almost every year. So, like last year, it was just stupid. That was a horrible event. But I'm not going to go and dig that up right now. That wouldn't be right to dig that up right now. So, taking some steps forward. Oh, I forgot about the Thor. Last thing about the feature of the Thor, there's no damage depletion modifier in the new rules. So if you're able to get that Thor's damage up to like what, 7? Yep, 7. You're able to get his damage up to 7. It's going to stay at 7. Here's your sign. All right, so let's sort of move on, and let's start looking at, transitioning and getting prepared for the new era. Initially, in the back of my brain, I had one thing, sort of going during, my prep or my time in between episodes. But now, just because of all the things that's happened this week, I'm of a different mindset. And so I'm just going to go ahead and unload some of that. And this is really going to be a little bit more rambling than it is going to be actual cohesiveness. So here we go. First off, to be prepared for what's to come, I would say the number one thing is don't trust WizKids. Don't trust WizKids. And you would say, well, that's sort of cynical and doesn't quite fit. But here's why I'm going to say don't trust WizKids. There is this assumption that WizKids will make, and then WizKids will immediately take away in a couple of months. They'll allow something to exist for a while, and then they'll come back and be like, aha, gotcha, that's gone. That WizKids is a dead god. It has been replaced with Pride and Madness god. Okay, Pride is believing that their customers won't or can't go anywhere else, and the other part of their pride is understanding that whatever they spend is gold. Whatever they spend is gold because people buy it. Not necessarily because it's a quality product, not necessarily as good in terms of it represents the characters, not necessarily because it pushes the game forward in a positive light. It's just that pretty much the worshipers are going to worship, so you're not going to do, there's nothing that can be done about it. Madness is how they approach things in terms of, for a lack of a better word, without method, or their methods are utter crap. Now, and this is why I'm going to sort of like come in real honestly about this. If you design a figure like Thor, there had to be a version before what we got. All right, you can make fun of playtesting all you want, but there had to have been a designer version before that. Okay, let's just imagine hypothetically that the point limit of the mystical character was 25 points. What would that have done to the game? Just think about it. What would have that done to the game? But then they settled on 50 points. So okay, we settled on 50 points. So if you're only going to have like 3 actions in a 300 point game. So if you commit 150 points, then that's in their mindset. Well, that's 150 points of characters that are not attacking, which is fine. Okay. But here's the problem. There's too many game effects that are passive. that you don't have to take a token to use. And because of that, all you've done is just power up this cannon even more. Now, again, pride. This figure is great. You know, the high priest of that are at the temple and the altar. It's like, please, dear WizKids lords, don't do this. Maybe increase the cost so it's not too crazy. Please, oh WizKids. And then WizKids sort of comes back and says, yeah, okay, all right. But then, you know, the priests are like, but WizKids lords, your commandments change all the time. What about this damage depletion modifier that you have so decided to get rid of? And then they'd be like, yeah, whatever. Meh, whatever. Doesn't matter. So what happens to the game after this? Don't care. But WizKids lords, the ancient krakens of the team bases, they would be ridiculous and be released upon the world again. Whatever. That's not our problem. That's the old stuff. We're about the new stuff. Fill those landfills full of little plastic figures that aren't worth anything. Mwahahaha! Now, yes, you could say I've blown this out of proportion just slightly, but it's really not too far off. Okay? There's too many things that are being put out that do not coincide with the new rules, which you should have already have figured out, like, last year. Because, you announced it this year. So sometime around mid last year, you should have had like a basis of it, and then you should have been testing it, and then you should have got it to your play testers, and they should have had it for at least 5 to 6 months. Okay? Now, if you couldn't do this, and we haven't had a rules update for like 3 years, what the hell have you been doing? Realistically, what the hell have you been doing? And I can give you credit. I can give WizKids credit. I'm like, last rules came out 2014, if I'm correct. Cool. All right. We looked from 2014 to 2015, and then we were like, oh snap, there are problems. Then from 2015 to 2016, you should have been, we heard, rulebook is coming, rulebook is coming, rulebook is coming. Now you got 2016 into 2017, and you're like, yeah, we finally got that rulebook thing, sorta. So they've had plenty of time to hash things out, think things out, get things prepared, fix, other mistakes, deal with, problems that they had, and just get a lot of stuff done. But they didn't. Okay? And not only that, they gave us this false sense of a change with the Ninja Turtles. And the Ninja Turtles had, I would say, the beta version of the new language. So you have the close attack, ranged attack, and it's just like, okay, you're mixing pseudo new language with the old language, and it's like the kid that just started to learn slang and is just using it, and everybody else is just looking at him like he's speaking Chinese in America, outside of Chinatown. It's like, what's wrong with you? Speak English. Okay, so we have that problem right there. So when I could argue and say, like, look, WizKids hasn't been on the ball, and then someone could say, like, well, then you freaking Dark Logos design a game, and then you tell me how it goes to innovate and get to play testers and get feedback and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, that's a fair argument, but I would really say this, going forward, you can't trust WizKids because they've proven with their track record that they're not trustable. That they will not do what's best for the game. So if there's a broken element, that broken element will probably stay a broken element for a while. For a long while. If you even look at characters that have come out in the last 2 or 3 sets, they deal with zombies. There's some things in there that just flat deal with zombies. Zombies are out of the meta. They're done. So why did it take you so long to create guys that deal with zombies? Why? Okay. Another thing I would tell you, definitely trying to get prepared for this new meta. Don't rush to buy. Don't rush to buy. Now, this is a feeling that I had that made me say, oh crap. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. I felt this before. Go all the way back to Web of Spider-Man. And you can even probably go back and listen to my show and review on Web of Spider-Man. And I said, like, man, this is some of the best heroclix we've ever had. This stuff is great. I feel like the game is going in a really good direction. Stuff is balanced. Stuff is fun. It's not over the top. You know, I don't feel like, you know, I'm in this bad position all the time. I have to think some things through. Yes, you did have Fast Force's Supergirl. Yes, you did have Fast Force's Superman still around. You had a few other outliers, like a couple of Batmans. And you did have 10th anniversary. But it did feel, okay, there's some things that are fun. It brings the game, you know, back to some level of down-to-earthness. Then the apocalypse happened. The apocalypse straight happened. Or let me phrase this, one of the many Ragnaroks that's happened in heroclix. So you get the Iron Man movie 3 set, which had a lot of characters that just came out there and, you know, out the gate swinging hard for the fences. Then you have Fear itself and Teen Titans happening at the same time. And if you didn't play during the Fear itself and Teen Titan era, let me just explain to you what that was. Introducing hammers for the first time, so +2 attacks for everything, so your 18 defense was completely pointless 99.9% of the time, and it was just about throwing blows and absorbing damage. And then Teen Titans introduced team bases, which said, screw you and your resource, I have a freaking team base. Okay? And this is not even errata team bases. This is like the alpha version of team bases. The Justice League was so bad for the meta that Worlds revolved completely around killing it. And we got, oh my gosh, the freaking Ghost Rider meta that year. Okay? Then you fast forward a little bit and you got Wolverine and the X-Men, which introduced more dumb freaking strong team bases, such as the Shi'ar Empire New Mutants team base, and X-Men Gold and Blue, and you can argue with those. Those are both, yeah, you can argue with those. Okay, you have some things calming down a little bit with Batman TV, but even then, there's some BS in that, and things are chilling, and it gets really weird around AVX, and then, you know, you're arguing between Phoenix Force and Hammers. And Hammers are winning. Okay? And then you get Slosh, which reset how the game was played. Okay? And you have all of these problems. You know, and I can even say, like, Invincible Iron Man, that had some good stuff in it, but it was mainly just that Prime Iron Man, the Silver Centurion, that changed some things. All right, so we're on this run, and we hit this escalation point of Slosh, where Slosh is so strong at that point that it changed how you were playing. Let's just do a quick rundown with Slosh. Open up your 8C realms to the chapter of Slosh, not the Fast Forces Legion of Doom, but the chapter of Slosh. And let's go and proceed by number in verse and look at the characters that were really strong from such set. I like to open up with the first chapter and verse of Mon-El Prime. He He was stupid. He ruined your shield. I would also like to show you my servant Phantom Girl, who I took to Worlds that year and did really well with. I would also like to fast forward and introduce you to Wildfire, who is really, 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 really good on a composite Superman. Mr. Majestic, who starts off with the base 5 damage, running shot, energy explosion, and 2 targets. Yes, at 220 points, but at that time, 18 defense was about right, and his damage output was really, really high. So yeah. I would also like to remind you of the one that came to bring peace among us, Highfather. Also the one that limited the wickedness among us, the White Witch. And if you thought that it was just limited to them, I would also like to show you the transcendent form of Highfather Tachyon and the other Lords of Darkness, Lydia Maylor, Mordu, and also, what was his name? Guardian. And for those of you who have the secret knowledge and was able to have the truth of reality revealed to you, there is also Ellie Monel and Ellie Mordru, who will speak the truth to you of heroclix and how it should be played. Yeah, Slosh, completely shenanigan BS, full of crap. And I forgot to speak of the one that should not be completely spoken of, Bizarro, at 200 and something points to almost 300 something points, who had to be errata because of how stupid he was. Just straight how stupid he was. He had to be completely curb stomped, nerfed into the ground. Okay? And we haven't even gotten to War of Light yet. We haven't even gotten to the zombies yet. And that's when things escalated from, we're going pretty fast in the car, to, oh my gosh, I'm on the Starship Enterprise, we're going light speed. And Deadpool and Guardians of the Galaxy, you have your zombies, and War of Light dropped, and you have everything with that, plus the Lantern resources and all of that stuff. So when you look at that block, it started great. You're like, Streets of Gotham, I got, DC 10th was rough. But Justice League 52 was balanced. Chaos War was a lot to, sort of ask for, but GSX was a good set. It was strong. Avengers movie was good. It hasn't been that rough of a time. No Man's Land event was nice. Things were sort of cool. That Batgirl was great. Batman set was fun. All right. But you see this escalation just shoots off. So I'm looking at Avengers Defenders War and Joker's Wild and Deadpool, the Deadpool set. I'm looking at all of those sets. Oh, Deadpool and X-Force. A little bit of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 as everything's sort of chilling a little bit. We're gonna, squash the heat just a little bit, and we're getting ready to hit you with some hot fire this summer, and it's going to begin the new era of broken clicks, going from What If, Elseworlds into Thor, which makes me sort of feel everything that I bought for Avengers Defenders War, or just about a majority of the figures I would buy for Avengers Defenders War, will be trash. They will be trash. And you're going to say, but Dark Logos, when I look at it, that Doctor Strange is like hot fire. Like the shifting focus Doctor Strange is hot fire, man. Like, how can you say he's going to be trash? Well, possibly there could be, a shifting focus figure that has the ability to transform into Galactus. I don't know. But, like I said, Spider Sense is tingling. And says, like, don't trust that whiz kids over there. in the Uncle Ruckus voice. Don't trust them whiz kids over there. They don't know what they're doing. Okay. The next thing I would tell you is go listen to podcast and just try to stay informed. This isn't, a podcast that's like, hey, this week in heroclix, that happened. I don't do that anymore. There's too many other shows that just do it better, so I just decided not to. Okay, I decided not to. Go listen to 2 Clicks from KO. heroclix Borderlands is a new podcast that I'm listening here and there. Not all of it. He's in. I have the rule: the first 25 episodes are crap, no matter who you are. When it comes to podcasts, so I'm sort of slugging through with them. I'm like, there were some things that probably need to be changed. Not necessarily just make them uniform, just to make things a little tighter. But other than that, I'm like, I'm not hating it. Critical Clicks when it comes out. No slight intended. It's just they made their own joke about it. And there's a few others that people listen to, like Meta Lab and whatnot. But just stay informed. Get in a good Facebook group, and you can sit there and lament and cry with one another about what's happening in heroclix and why it's gone to, the noobs or whatever. The last thing I would tell everybody is be ready to trade. Be ready to trade. And I know this sounds really weird when I say it, but if what I think is happening, is going to happen, happens, then you need to go. You need to be able to offload a lot of stuff, and understand that things that you might have spent a lot of money for now, their overall value will drop greatly, really, really fast. Like overnight, we need to leave this country fast. Okay. I don't really think that from a sustainability perspective, the game can stay at its current levels because it's balanced, sorta, and it's fairish, sorta, but there isn't much that can challenge Jakeem until the new rules drop, and even still, there's not a lot that can challenge Jakeem. And I know some people will say, like, Dark Logos, I heard all the professionals say that when the new rules drop, that Jakeem, he's going to be a chump. So I'm not going to buy Jakeem, and I'm going to play him for Black History Month because he's not bad. But, I think Jakeem won't be that strong, Dark Logos. Why are you wrong? Why are you right? And why is, Easton Brock and PJ Bolin, your teammate PJ Bolin sort of wrong? Here's why. Look at the game now. Look at the amount of characters that have improved targeting, nor is hindering. Look at the number of characters that have improved targeting, nor is hindering without wit. And then ask yourself, out of those many characters, would you play them? So let's just make it easy. Go to your HC Realms, to the unit section, open up back to the great book of unit section, and go to your thesaurus, or not your thesaurus, your table of contents, and then we're just going to put in less than 250. Just being realistic, you're not going to play anything over 250 points in a 300-point game. We're going to select the modern age. And then we're going to select Outwit. And we're going to select Outwit on first click only. Now, what should happen is I should get a crap ton of figures. And I do. Okay, but we can sort of skim through this really, really fast. And we can note who doesn't have anti-stealth. And I'm going to bring this up, why the anti-stealth, here in a second. Why stealth is important in a second. Okay, so we got Donatello, can't see through stealth. Crane, can't see through stealth. Another Donatello, most likely can't see through stealth. Curai, nope, can't see through stealth. Autonomous Head, can't see through stealth. Electro, sure the hell can't see through stealth. Another Donatello, Baxter Stockman, Donatello, can't see through stealth. Mephisto's gone. Pete Wisdom's gone. Scarlet Witch will be gone. Doctor Strange, can't see through stealth. Doctor Octopus, can't see through stealth. Black Panther, can't see through stealth. Other Black Panther, can't see through stealth. Nighthawk, can't see through stealth. The Owl, can't see through stealth. Ironheart, can't see through stealth. Let's keep going. Fast Forces Avengers, Daredevil, can't see through stealth, even though he's blind. That's sort of his thing. He has the freaking echolocation. Rocket and Groot, can't see through stealth. Nebula, can't see through stealth. Killebrew, can't see through stealth. Stingray, can't see through stealth. Living Brain, can't see through stealth. Norman Osborn, Spider-Man Noir, can't. Black Panther from Civil War, can't see through stealth. You see where I'm going? If I just go naturally and I go down this list, you're just going to keep noticing the same thing over and over and over again. None of these characters ignores hindering terrain. None. Not at all. Zero. Okay? And you might say, but yeah, that is true, Dark Logos, but there's the Avengers Initiative Civil War starter Scarlet Witch for 95 points that has Avengers Initiative TA. She can see through stealth, and it was like, are you gonna play her? You gonna play her to deal with Jakeem? Oh, you're not gonna play a 95. Sorry, not Scarlet Witch, Black Widow that can see through stealth, that has charge, and has a 4 range, has super senses and a 10 attack 3 damage for 95 points. Okay, so you're not going to play her. All right, good to know. Then you're gonna keep going, and you're gonna find, hey, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, Batman, 150 points, 5 range, Superman ally, and he has Outwit, 7 clicks, and you're gonna play that. You're going to play that, right? Okay. Oh, wait. There's a 150 point Superman from the Fast Forces, Dawn of Justice. Oh, 7 clicks? Like crappier than the 135 point one? You want to play that? 10 attack? Are you? No, I mean, like, for real. Be real with me. You're going to play that. To fight Jakeem and fight the other stuff and actually place. Oh, you're not. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, gosh, yeah. Wait. Well, Kingdom Come Batman? Oh, yeah, he can't see through stealth. You're going to play Superman 2? Oh, please play Superman 2. Please play Superman 2. You going to play Steel? Please show I'm wrong that 140 point Steel is good. I'll freaking throw down $50 to listen how to play heroclix from you. Go win a rock with that. Okay? Now, some of you are going to say, but look, Brainiac, as much smack talk as you're talking, Edward, you could just attach Brainiac onto a character, and now they have Outwit, and they can just have anti-stealth, and now you have it. Okay, now we're getting a lot more reasonable. Okay, now we're getting a lot more reasonable. That's feasible. But now you have this new hindering, factor that comes into play. And this factor is this. Brainiac's dial is not that long. Are you going to risk that on a long dial attacker? That's it. That's reasonable. Oh, here's Solaris. Solaris has a 10 range. He has improved targeting and Nora's hindering. He's 25 points and 19 defense. Okay, that's reasonable. So out of all of the options that we have even looked at, maybe 2 or 3. And again, I'm saying outwit on first click, because that's when you're going to use it. Because pretending that A, Jakeen can't pick stealth, B, that Jakeen will not have supreme intelligence from now until supreme intelligence is gone, is naive. It's really naive. And then we look at the number of upfront outwit figures. There are not that many that are good. There's not that many that are cost efficient. Yes, the new Black Panther is, freaking gold. Like diamonds and gold. So good. But he can't see through stealth. And you take that new Wakanda map, and I'm sorry, with everything I told you, theme teams can play the freaking tank or Henry. I am playing Jakeen. I'm playing JSA. I'm playing Mystical. I'm playing one of those 2 theme teams. I'm going on that map. I'm going on a map with tons of hindering. I'm going to have stealth with supreme intelligence, or from a round table, or freaking whatever. I'm going to be freaking a ninja. You can't outwit me. You cannot think that the new outwit rules are automatically going to fix everything, because it's not. It's not. It's going to be great. And even if you said, hey, I have Solaris, and Solaris can outwit Jakeen if he goes on that outdoor map, and I'd be like, cool, I'll just go ahead and put you on WizKid's office, Solaris, and I'll let you outwit me 1 turn. Okay? And then you know what I'm going to do, Solaris? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to proceed to find a way to kill you, and then kill you, and then you no longer have a way to outwit me through stealth. So what? What you gonna do then? Your 25-point lean investment is gone. And again, I will argue, the only legitimate option for outwit through stealth requires you to have a figure that can already see through stealth, and you play Brainiac, and you do not risk losing Brainiac prematurely. Because Brainiac is only like 7 clicks. That's a lot to be mindful of. And then just adding on another layer to this. This means that also you can stay on the first 2 clicks. Because that's where he has outwit. Because if I'm the Jakeen player and I'm able to smack you past that outwit, if you don't have any way to heal, you're no longer a threat. Even if you can see me through stealth, you can't outwit me. So we can even see there's a limitations to Brainiac. And then I know someone's going to be like, but Dark Logos, I get regen on click 6 and 7. Please live that long. If I jack up and I let you live that long, okay, cool. But if I don't pulse wave you twice or do something to you to just kill you, I deserve for you to regen on me. So, again, no shade to PJ or Easton. I respect both of them. I respect both of them greatly. I think for us to sort of look at this situation, and again, when I say don't trust WizKids over there, don't look at the new rules over there. They're not going to fix everything, but understand what you need to get rid of and what's going to be good and what's going to be bad. Like, it's about to get crazy, and there's going to be a lot of speculation. Hell, there's going to be some for me. It's up to you to sort of wade through everything and determine what is legitimate and what's not. And I'm going to tell you the truth. A lot of us in the next 6 to 8 months are going to make a lot of good decisions, a lot of meh decisions, and a bunch of bad decisions. Okay, just because WizKids is crazy and they haven't provided an atmosphere for us to have a stable interaction. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to say this. If I was WizKids, this is how Origins would be like this year. Number one, I would say, hey, people haven't been getting access to the Guardians of the Galaxy. What we're going to do is just say the whole entire set is going to be blocked for next year. The whole entire set. So you can come to Origins, you just can't use that set. Everything after that Guardians of the Galaxy set will be blocked for next year, which means that this entire set, each of these entire sets will get 2 years of rotation. Okay? You can still buy it, you can still play it. We've technically given you an extended period of time with these sets. All right? Not like it's going to matter because everything we're about to make is going to completely squat a brick on top of it, but that's all right. Then I'm going to say, hey, we're going to have a exhibition match on Wednesday at this period of time at this venue away from Origins, and it's going to be Patrick Yapoko versus Scott Crampton, or Patrick Yapoko versus Kenny Pena, or one of the other, well-known actual champions, Adam Friedman versus Kenny Pena, or whatever. Okay, and we're going to have an exhibition match. They're going to show you some of the figures from the new set, which is going to be, What If. And not only that, they're going to be playing under the new rules. Boom. That drops. Okay? Then, on top of everything else, I'm going to say it's like, get everybody in together and say like, yo, look, our events are here, here, and here. You already saw the schedule. But if you stay to the last day, we're going to have a little bonus for you. And then on the last day, completely reveal what's in Elseworlds. Best con experience ever. But hey, I'm just some dude on the internet. It's not like I know anything. Not like I have a degree in marketing. But I seem to be able to, figure out what would be, a good solution to fix a lot of the stupid stuff that's going on with WizKids right now. So, thank you for listening. You can follow me on Twitter at StartOverPod. It came from outer space and told me, man, you need to get practicing, dog, for real. Tulsa's next week. You can check out my random musings on Twitter. You can also subscribe to this channel by hitting the little bell to find out when a new show is up. But everybody's pandering for that, so just subscribe, hit the bell, whatever. But Twitter is a better way of following the show because as soon as I post a show, you immediately find out versus waiting for that super huge blocky email that's updated with 80 different bazillion shows that you're watching, and I might land on that list. You can get a shirt by clicking the link below, and if you want to donate to the show, everything that you donate goes towards making the show better, whether it's audio equipment, video equipment, or my new project is video editing equipment, because brother is still using that Windows Media, whatever the hell this is. I need to, upgrade to like Sony Vega from like 5 years ago. That's what I need to do. Oh gosh. But yeah, you could donate to the show. If you still want private training, the time's running out on that. And for the wholesale. And yeah, that's it. So thank you for listening. And remember, we all have to start over sometime.